Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be a bridal look, and I just feel like it's the time to finally do one. I know so many friends that are getting married in 2019. My mom just got married this past month, and my Aunt Jackie just got married this past month as well. So there's just a lot of people getting married, and I feel like I have some good tips for making your makeup last long throughout the day, but also keeping it super natural and not going too glam, but also highlighting your features and making them look really good and stand out. So if you guys want to see how I do that, then just go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so first, you want to moisturize your skin, which I've already done. And then after you do that, you want to put on primer. So regardless of your skin type, oily, dry, I really recommend a primer that is going to help the foundation and everything stick to the face. So something that's going to, after you put it on, leave a little bit of a sticky base. And my favorite primer that does that is the Nivea Sensitive Post Shave Balm. Yes, I know this is not a primer, but it really does make everything adhere really well to the skin and helps everything last a little bit longer. So if you have dry skin, I think this would be probably the only primer you need, besides maybe a pore filler if you're needing something for your pores. So you're basically just going to want to rub this in until you feel it start getting tacky, and that's when you know that it's good. You can apply anything on top of it and it will stay sticky. It won't dry or anything. So that's really awesome. But if you are oily, I would recommend also going in with a primer that's going to help keep your oils at bay, and you already know which primer I'm going to talk about, and that is the One Heck of a Blot Soap and Glory primer, and it's just the best primer for controlling oils. I haven't found anything that works as well as this, and it's from the drugstore. I think it's like $10. I would say with that Nivea primer, the only place that you would need to put this is in your oily areas. So for me, that would be my T-zone, which gets very, very oily throughout the day. And that Nivea primer is even going to help with this primer in adhering it to the skin. Make sure that it does the absolute best job that it can do. And yeah, this is just a really good primer cocktail to help prolong your makeup on your wedding day. Okay, so the next step is obviously foundations, and foundations are super important, and I'm just going to give you a few options that really are good foundations for helping you prolong your makeup throughout the day that won't break apart. And yeah, so the first one that I want to talk about is one that I actually don't use on my channel anymore because it breaks me out, but it is a great foundation for long wear and for good coverage. So this is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation, and this is in the shade Fair, but this is a really good foundation if you're wanting something around medium coverage where you can conceal anything else with a concealer. This is a really good foundation that lasts super long throughout the day. Such a good foundation. The next one that I don't really talk about that much on my channel anymore, at least more so recently, is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. This is a super good foundation for long wear and for about medium coverage, and it is just such a good foundation. Looks so flawless and beautiful on the skin. I think I'm actually going to use this one today just so we can see how it works on the skin. And then the last two are ones that are no surprise to you. Both of my Makeup Revolution foundations are great for wedding day makeup. This one lasts forever on me, gives me really good coverage, and does not sink into my smile lines. This one does the exact same thing, a little bit less coverage, and I think this one looks a little more smooth on the skin. It's just your personal preference, but I would also say that you need to trial run your foundation before the wedding day. So I would go pick out some shades, maybe 1 or 2 months beforehand, try them out, see how they wear on your skin and everything like that, because that's really going to give you the best wear, because these might not even work on your skin. These are just my personal recommendations that work really well on my skin. So I'm just going to blend this out. Another thing you want to make sure of when you are using a foundation for a wedding is you want to make sure that it is photography friendly, and a lot of times you don't take a lot of photos at night unless you're having a night wedding, but just make sure that it looks good in photos, that it doesn't accentuate anything. Some foundations photograph really well and some just don't, so that's also something you should probably try before you go in with the foundation on your wedding day. These are all ones that have worked for me for photos. So with wedding makeup, you want to make sure that you're doing a light layer all over and then concealing where you need to, just to ensure that it doesn't get cakey or anything like that. So I've got one layer on right now, and I'm just going over everything to make sure it's all blend it out. So then I'm going to go in with a concealer, and I'm going to actually mix a couple. I'm going to take a little bit of my Glow Minerals Under Eye Concealer in the shades Golden. So I use this on clients a lot of times, but I'm going to take the lighter of the two shades, and I'm going to mix it with my Tarte Shape Tape where I need it. So I'm going to stick it on my cheek area. This is a little bit dark for me, so that's why I am going to mix it with Tarte Shape Tape. And then I'm just going to dot a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape on top. And then I'm just going to blend it out with my Beauty Blender. Okay, so then I'm going to take just Tarte Shape Tape underneath my eyes and blend that out with a beauty sponge. So you're going to want some natural contours in your face on your wedding day just to accentuate those features. So I'm going to be using a brightening powder underneath the eyes, but one that does not have flashback. So I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Translucent Powder in the shade Fair, and I'm going to set my under eyes. With this, you can see how much it brightens. I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye and let it sit there for a few minutes. And then I'm also going to place this wherever else I want some brightening. And then I'm going to take my Coty Airspun Loose Translucent Powder for the rest of my face, just lightly setting it with some powder and my Beauty Blender, tapping it off, and really setting down those cheek areas. If you're finding that you're still having trouble covering breakouts after powder, I will show you a way to conceal those even further. And I'm actually just going to take a little bit of this translucent powder as well and take it down my neck just to ensure that anything we took down is set. So if you have bad smile lines like I do, you're going to want to set those as well. So I'm taking my Dermablend translucent powder, and I'm just going to place this on the areas that I crease badly. So I'll go ahead and show you how to further conceal your breakouts if you're still not fully covered in those areas. So what I like to do is I'll take a coverage powder, which I'm using the L'Oreal True Match. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small brush that's kind of dense, and I'm going to tap into it, and then I'm going to place it right over that breakout, and that's completely gone now. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to do a little bit on this side as well. So I've got that sitting and baking. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my eyes because we're not going to be doing something that's going to have lots and lots of fallout. So we're going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to use my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot and Painterly to set my eyes. I really love this primer because it really locks in my makeup and helps for the shadows to look the best they can look. And I'm just going to take this after I wipe off the oils on my eyelids, and I'm just going to put this all over the lids. So now that I've got the base on, I'm going to set my eyelids down, and I'm going to dip into that white shade from the James Charles palette and set my eyelids. Okay, so we're going to be popping around a little bit for eyeshadows, but we are going to keep it a little more neutral / cool toned than more warm toned, because a lot of times cool tones just flatter a little bit more and they're a little more bridal than warm tones are. So for the first couple shades that I'm going to be taking, I'm going to be dipping into the Stila Eyes Are the Window Shadow palette. It's a pretty old palette, but it is still available. And I'm going to be dipping into the shades Individual and Heart, which are these two shades right here, and I'm going to be dipping into both of those and placing these in my crease. Zoomed you guys in a little bit so you can see a little bit up closer what's going on. Okay, so the next couple steps are going to be super easy, and it's going to be a super easy wedding makeup look because I feel like they don't always need to be hard. So, and I feel like if anything, the bridal makeup looks are the ones that are the most natural and just need to really enhance your features. So I'm going to stay in this palette, and I'm going to take the shade Being right here, and I'm going to dip into that and place this on my outer corner. And this is just a little bit of a cooler toned brown. Then going back in with the first two shades, just blending it all out. making sure it didn't get too high into that crease. So now I'm going to be dipping into my Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills and taking the shade right here, which is Tempera. And I'm just going to dip into this with my finger, and I'm going to place this on the lid where we did not put anything. It's okay if you're kind of messy with it because we are going to clean it up at the end. Going back in with the first brush with no extra product and just buffing this through the crease. And then going back in with that dark brown shade from the Stila palette and just touching up those outer edges. And now I'm actually just going to take a little bit of a smaller blending brush and take those first two crease shades, just a little bit of a smaller one, and detail that in at the top. And I think the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade Buon Fresco from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I'm just going to run that through the crease just a little bit to add a little bit of a pinky hue. And the last step to this look is going to be taking the shades Being and Character right here, and I'm going to mix these and put these on a pencil brush and blend these right at the lash line to give it just a little bit more depth, just towards the outer half. I think I'm going to go into the black shade as well, all three of those, just to add a little bit of darkness. You can see the difference between this eye and this eye. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the lower lash line, which is going to be very simple. We're just going to take those first two crease shades, Individual and Heart, from the Stila palette and blend those along the lower lash line. Okay, so we are done with the eyes for the most part. We are going to be adding some individual lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my mascara, and we'll apply the lashes in just a second. So for mascara, I'm going to be using the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which is one of my favorite mascaras ever. It just really volumizes, that's not a word. It really gives you a lot of volume and length, and the more it dries out, the better it is. So it's just a really great mascara. And if you have straight lashes, make sure to curl your lashes before you apply falsies. I don't really do that because my lashes pretty much curl already. So I don't really do that too often unless they're acting up that day, you know? So I'm gonna let that mascara dry a little bit before we put on the lashes. So I'm gonna zoom you guys back out. We're gonna dust this off and maybe do some bronzer before we put on the lashes. Okay, so I'm gonna dust this powder away, dust this powder away. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some bronzer, and today I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder in the shade Buff Beige, which is actually a setting powder with some coverage, but I really like this for bronzing. I think it gives you such a beautiful warmth without it being too much. So I'm just going to take this on a stipple brush and start to blend this on my face. It may look a little harsh right now, but we will blend it out and make sure that it all looks seamless. So let's go ahead and apply some individual lashes. So I'm going to be using the Kiss individual lashes, but they're actually in pairs of 3, which really makes applying them really easy, and it doesn't take too many, and it's not super long and everything like that. I used these on my Aunt Jackie a few weeks ago for her ceremony, and they looked beautiful. I loved them. They look so natural, but add just a little bit of something to the eyes. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Kiss Lash Couture adhesive, and I'm going to apply some on the back of a palette or anything like that, so I can just dip it into it and apply them to my lashes. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shorts. There's some extra shorts and some shorts. So I'm going to take the the regular shorts, and take one off. I'm going to dip it in to the lash adhesive and blow on it just a little bit before I stick it on. And then I'm gonna stick it on just like that. I'm gonna do this eye on camera and then I'll do this one off camera. So dip it, blow just a little bit, and then stick it on and make sure it's placed close to the lash. Hey guys, so I'm sitting here editing the video for Sunday, which is the bridal makeup look, and I made the mistake of filming when my battery was really low, which I think caused the footage to mess up. So basically, when I was applying my lashes, after that, the video kept going, but there was no like picture. It just went out. So it eventually died, and then so I filmed the rest on my phone. So basically that's the only footage I have left. So I'm going to use my phone footage for the rest of the video. But I was applying my lashes, then I applied my highlighter, which was the Smashbox Casey Holmes Spotlight and Pearl palette, the lightest shade. I used that for my highlight. I used the Velvet Touch blush from Japanesque in the shade 02 for my blush, and then I filled in my brows. That's all I did, and then it kicks back in. I think it actually kicks back in when I'm doing my highlight, but I figured it's better than nothing, and I really want to get this tutorial up. So I'm really sorry, y'all. I'm really, really sorry. Okay, so I know this is the weirdest angle ever, but my camera just died. So I'm filming the rest of this on my phone. So we're just gonna continue to put some highlighter on, put it everywhere, on my nose, on my top of the bridge of my nose, and then on my cupid's bow. And then we're gonna apply some lips. So for lips, you're gonna want something that is not glossy, just because of pictures, wind, everything like that. It won't hold up. It'll just get all, your hair will get all caught in it and everything like that. So you want to use probably a lipstick, because you don't want the matteness of a liquid lipstick to emphasize the wrinkles in your lips or anything like that. So we're going to use a lipstick that you can just keep reapplying. My favorite nude at the moment is the one from Glow Minerals, and this is the Royal Lip Crayon in the shade Buff, and it is just a orangey, pinky kind of lipstick, and it's beautiful and it's easily reapplicable, and it's just one of the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. Okay, so this is an option. I just put this one on. If you are not a big orangey nude lip person, then I'm gonna grab something else that will also work that's a little more pink. A couple other options for lip products is the CoverGirl, I don't know what the name of this line is, but it's in this packaging right here, and this is in Tempting Toffee, and this is a beautiful brownie pink nude, and it's beautiful, and I'm gonna apply it so you guys can see it on the lips. So this one applied. I think this is probably my favorite out of the three that I'm gonna be showing you, but there's one downside to this one, is that it tastes so bad. So if you guys are not about that, then I probably wouldn't choose this one. So the final lip option is this one from Essence in, sorry, I'm like crouching over because I want to be closer and my phone doesn't do the job very well. This is the Essence lipstick in the shade Barely There, and this one is much more of a pink nude as well. Another trick with lipsticks is if you don't like how pigmented they are, you can always just rub them out. I've rubbed this one out a little bit to make it a little more sheer, and yeah, this is the final lip option. So yeah guys, that is it for this video. This video has been kind of all over the place with my camera dying and everything like that, but I hope you guys like these tips and everything like that for wedding makeup. And yeah guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.